Well, hello, I'm Nathan Judah. I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Liam Keane from... What station are you in, Liam?
I'm sat in Birmingham Moor Street.
Are you gonna start shouting? We've had some issues today, video-wise, but we needed to bring this video to you. You're there, I'm back here. We'll talk about it all in the podcast. Let's talk about the most incredible comeback of all comebacks. Aston Villa 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3. Where'd you begin? I can't believe it. Watching that game, 75 minutes in, it's not happening. They're terrible. What's he done? 3-2, celebrating. The scenes at the end, I'm stunned. I'm still stunned.
More importantly, it's really strange recording this video in a train station. Like, obviously, people walking by, and I'm like looking around. More important things. Look, I mean, we've got to be honest, they weren't great for 80 minutes. They really weren't.
That's putting it mildly, I'll be honest.
That's putting it quite nicely. They had spells, they had a 15-minute spell at the end of the first half. They had a spell probably after the second goal, before the first Wolves goal came. But overall, I mean, they were pretty poor, to be honest, for 80-odd minutes. And the big thing for me was the lack of changes and lack of urgency quickly. I thought that they would make changes after maybe half time, after 60 minutes at the very least, but it took a while before we got there, which that surprised me certainly. But I mean, football is just a crazy game, isn't it? It's money can't buy moments like that. It's unbelievable. I mean, I genuinely, and it sounds a bit corny, it was an absolute privilege to be there for that game. I wasn't thinking that at 75 minutes when I was writing my intro and saying that Wolves. I was writing the intro. Wolves
three different
lost
intros.
2-0.
It didn't
look
like it. I tweeted out saying, that's when they scored the second, game over, and they've shown no fight. And the team selection was wrong. We can debate that later in the podcast whether it was still wrong. Maybe you've been proved right, but there was no chance, not even a glimmer of them showing any kind of, consolation at best, you think, when Saïd scores, and then just the scenes. I mean, fans will be remembering that for decades to come, let alone years, decades. Yeah,
I will as well. And you're right. I mean, there's lots of debate to go into about the team and all that kind of stuff. And part of it was that Villa, crumbled a bit, didn't they? They lost their composure. They were a little bit all over the place. But credit Wolves as well. They showed a bit of fight, a bit of bottle. The timing of that first goal was crucial, though, after 80 minutes. I mean, that was huge. Had they not got that at that point, they're not coming back in that game.
No.
And it came from a wonderful pass from Neves, almost either needle stuff through to Daniel Podence, and then a bit of coolness, a bit of composure. I thought Podence looked really good when he came on. He had a hand in the goals, and he looked great. And it was a good well-timed finish by Saïd in the end. The second one was all over the place, wasn't it? I mean, defending first of all, but Saïd and Cody were both in there trying to get their foot on it. It came off Cody's thigh, and then it bounced off Twanzebe at one point, and I think it did take the final touch off Cody. I think it hit Twanzebe's leg and then the thigh of Cody, but either way,
I mean, we're not talking about three stunning goals here, by the way.
No.
We're not.
What we'll give credit for, though, is the build-up play. I do think the build-up play for the goals was quite good. Bearing in mind that also Villa, I think, gave the opportunities to Wolves on a silver platter at the same time. It was a really strange end to the game. It was just bizarre. It looked totally done. I mean, the game looked finished. Villa handed it slightly to Wolves, but credit to Wolves as well. A bit of bottle.
94th minute comes, Liam, and I've got it typed to my computer. He's over the ball, and I've got Neves, just for banter, because I know it's not going in. And
someone's singing "Hi Ho Wolverhampton" here, by the way.
There you go.
Walking past, they don't know who I am. No one does.
No one does. And I've gone crazy, absolutely crazy. You think it's an absolute stunner. It's not a great free kick, to be honest, but nobody really cares. It's the best free kick, the most important free kick he'll score in his career. And the scenes afterwards, it's unreal.
Best free kick in the world as far as I'm concerned.
But no, I was saying to you,
I was saying to you before we recorded that I need to watch the replay, but I think you're right. I'm not even sure if it was on target, and now I do need to watch it back. But it looked to me like it might have been going wide. It takes a big deflection of target and wrong foots Martinez. But that's how McGinn's goal came as well. To be fair, a little bit of luck on both sides. It just so happened the Wolves' a little bit of luck earned them 3 points. And you're right. I mean the scenes. I mean. Subs on the pitch, run into that way in. I mean, people falling over each other, flinging shirts around the head. I tweeted something about that. I mean, that is just football down to a T. That's why we love the game. It was
that's why we missed it. Missed the fans.
Exactly.
Those kind of moments,
Exactly. And I mean, what was it? 94th minute when the free kick was given. I'm sat there with a few of the people around. I turned to Matt Mayer, Villa colleague. I turned to Tim Spears, former ENS. I'm going, if this goes in, I'm on the pitch. You don't even expect it to go in. You really don't. Obviously, again, massive bit of luck, but it was unbelievable. I don't know if people would have seen, but I was knee sliding down the touchline.
Did you?
Yeah. I had to hop over, obviously, a few stewards and everything on the way, but it was no big deal. Unbelievable. We spoke to Ruben afterwards, and there'll be some stuff on that on Monday. Basically, he doesn't really care whether it's his goal or not. I can say that much. And who cares? No one cares. It's 3 points. It papers over the cracks slightly. We'd be being kind if we're saying it was a good performance. It's 3 points. It's massive.
Look, we'll go into more. I think in the week and in the podcast and stuff. Look, there's got to be question marks about the team. I mean, Raul Jimenez. I understand there was a bit of a shock he was on the bench. You could kind of understand it with him travelling and playing 2 games in Mexico. However, the amount of time it took for him to even get on the pitch. Look, but Wolves have won the game. Is Bruno lucky? Has it made a masterstroke? I don't know. Is it a bit of both?
A little bit of both, if I'm being honest. But I do think they look better when the subs came on. Now, for me, I'd have done them a lot earlier. Certainly. So in that sense, there's a little bit of luck that he's had enough time in the game for it to pan out, and a little bit of luck for how the goals came. I wouldn't say it was a massive stroke because at 80 minutes, it's a difficult one to say because you don't want to be too negative after a result like that and the way they get the result. But for me, there was a few errors made, I think, in the starting 11. I don't think it quite clicked. There was no real link between the midfield and the forwards. I thought Hwang had actually a very poor game, to be honest. I don't want to pick just him out, but I think in linking everything together in that final third, for me, he stood out as the poorest of the lot, if I'm honest. Which is a shame, because obviously I think he's looked very good and obviously scored 2 against Newcastle. But look, there are definitely things to work on, but positives nonetheless. It's difficult to be negative after a result like that. You have to take it with a bit of pinch of salt, really, and look forward to what is a strange game against Leeds, who are really struggling. And I think Wolves really could go there and do the business. And imagine that before on the bounce, they're already 8th. Bruno's put himself in a great position with a little bit of luck.
Wolves 8.
Take it.
Wolves 8, 3 points off. 3 points off the top 4. June the 14th, Liam, is the Champions League draw for the first round. It's incredible we're talking about Wolves being 3 points off 4 when you think of the start they've had, and even like 15 minutes before the end of the game. So look, they can only get better, Wolves. That's the exciting thing, And like you say, that Leeds game could be pivotal. Things are pretty rosy, and we'll take it by hook or by crook. They've had enough disappointment and enough unluckiness, I think, over the starts this season. So 3 points, happy days. Enjoy your beer, get home. Villa 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3.